In today's video, we're going to take a look at another pistol from my daddy, and this one is the one that he carried up to just a couple of weeks before he died. And I'm talking about the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. We'll talk about some things I like about this pistol, some things I'm not too fond of, kind of go over the specs real quick, take you to the range and show you how well this thing performs, and then I'll kind of probably do a little bit of rambling along the way about this gun and about some of the design features that didn't make sense to me, and maybe even a little bit about my daddy. So that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. And as I said today, kind of bittersweet for me, we talk about this pistol that was my daddy's. And this is the last pistol that I ever saw him carrying. And a quick rambling story. I have a memory burned into my mind. The last time I took him to get his hair cut, because he didn't have much to cut, but he wanted to go get it cut, right? So I remember walking into the barbershop with him, and he was walking really slow at that time. He was 84 years old and just not getting around real good. And I noticed he had this pistol stuck in the watch pocket of his pants, just for God and everybody to see. And that's just the way it was. Now, to be honest, my brother and I had already talked about it. We had made sure that there wasn't one in the chamber. I'm not even sure if he had the finger strength to pull the trigger, because it is a double action only. It's pretty stiff trigger pull. But he felt naked without it, which I can relate to. So I love my daddy and I really respected him, so I wasn't about to tell him he couldn't carry his pistols. We just tried to make sure it was as safe as possible for him. Without any further rambling, let's take you down to the old tabletop here, and we'll talk about the specs of this thing real quick. I'll kind of show you how it, disassemble it for cleaning, put it back, and show you a little hiccup there, give you a little brief look at these sights, and then we'll take you to the range and see how well this thing actually performs using a couple different kinds of ammo, using some self-defense ammo and some range ammo, and then kind of wrap it up. So try not to ramble too much as we go. And before we do that, here's a quick 30-second promo spot from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at XS Sights, the fastest sight in any light. I've been using XS Sights for a lot of years, and it's really cool to have them as a channel sponsor. XS Sights are made in the USA in the great state of Texas, and you can save 15% on your order at their website by using the coupon code SOP15. Here's a little close-up look at the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. The width on this thing is 3/4 of an inch, so it's nice and slim. It's 5 1/4 inches long by 4.1 inches tall, and it weighs 11.9 ounces. It has a 6-round capacity, comes with 2 magazines, comes with a flush magazine and the one with the extended base plate, but it's still just 6 rounds. It has an external safety, thumb safety, which is pretty non-protruding, we'll say. I don't like it. It's really not easy to get an emergency, but it has such a stiff trigger. I mean, I bet this trigger is somewhere. Oh, the safety zone. It's got to be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 pounds, it feels like. The magazine release is where you would expect it to be, and it works pretty well. The empty magazines drop free, as you can see, even not even up straight up. This is the takedown lever here. And the only thing that I've done, I did a slight modification, as you can guess, since I might carry this as a backup sometime. I installed XS DXT2 big dot sights on it, because if it's going to be on my person, it's going to have big dots on it, and that's been my rule for a long time. Okay, so let's talk about how to take this thing down for maintenance and cleaning. So the first thing you're going to want to do is lock the slide back, and I'll just, sorry about my hands in the way, but it's really hard to do this on video. And then you got the takedown lever. You push that takedown lever all the way down like so, and then it'll come out. It really will come out. And what you may have to do is take a knife or tool and just get underneath it a little bit and pry it up. And you can see it doesn't take much to get it up. And you can see it's kind of at an angle now, which we're going to talk about that in just a minute. That's one of the issues. So pull the pin out there, then release the slides, stop, and the slide just slides off. Pretty much a standard recoil spring. Oh, and the rod comes out of the spring, and then the barrel is pretty standard the way the barrel works. You can see that thing's got about a 2-inch barrel. In fact, not even 2 inches, about 1 5/8 inches. So this is not designed for long range accuracy. It's designed for very close range self-defense use, which is why, again, the big dots. So that's it. You can see the hammer here when you pull the trigger, and you probably won't pull in, but it kind of wants to go back. And there's the hammer. It doesn't cock and lock back open. It's a 100% double action only. Now let's talk about putting it back together, and I'll explain to you the part that aggravates me. So just like pretty much any other pistol like that, you put the put the spring, open in the spring in the hole, and then the stop goes down against the little round part of the barrel. There's a little round depression in there. Then you put the slide back on. Now, here's the tricky part. Back open to slide lock. Let me see if I can show you this. So, on the inside of the frame, on the opposite side, there's a little indentation there. I hope you can see that. At the end of this post, the takedown lever has to go in. And there's a spring here, which is a retention spring that goes into a little notch here that holds the takedown lever. See the little notch on the takedown lever right there? Right there. Right? Can you see that? So that's what secures the takedown lever. But I'm telling you, like, it is really, really hard sometimes to get everything lined up because it wants to cock. There's nothing to keep it from staying, from getting crooked in there. So this thing is going to go between this pin and the barrel. Obviously, this is a toggle, not only a takedown lever, but it's also your toggle. Here's how you know if it worked or not. You see that? Didn't work. Okay. I figured out, and maybe I should have known this. You may know this, but in order for this to engage properly and the slide to close properly, the barrel has to be in this extended position. So the barrel needs to be disengaged and all the way out to the end of the frame, and then when you put the pin in and goes in, it comes right. So that's that's the takedown and reassembly. Let's take this thing to the range. What I did, I used this ammo here, which is Federal Premium Low Recoil, 90 grain, good old Hydra Shock. We also just used some regular old Full Metal Jacket range ammo. So let's see how well this little puppy did. We're going to go with some range ammo. Let's set the target again at 21 feet. We're going to start with the standard base plate, 6 rounds. And then we'll follow that up with the extended base plate, which theoretically should give me a little more control. We'll see how that works. Let's see what the first round from the pocket looks like. And I'll take that. Not too bad. Not too bad for a first round shot, which first round, in my opinion, in a self-defense situation is the most important. It may be the only one you get. At least it may be the only one you get if you don't make it right. So let's see how well the other ones do. I'm wanting to find the reset. It's really hard for me to break that habit of not coming all the way off the trigger, not releasing the trigger all the way. My entire muscle memory is built around going for the reset second shot. So I think that was a little fast. We got still not too bad. Let's tape these up, and then we'll see if I do any better with the extended base. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing with the slightly extended but base plate for the magazine. We'll do the first shot, see how well that goes, and then we'll do the other 5 as fast as I think I can reasonably shoot them. So a little low here, maybe in a little bit of a hurry. We'll see what the other 5 was like. Woo. Not too great. You can see these were the first rounds, all 6 rounds here. That was my first round there, I believe. There's my first one. 4 and 1 complete. I call that a dead grandma. Not good. So we'll slow it down just a little bit. Okay, same extended base plate magazine. If I can get a good 3-finger, or these 2 fingers anyway, grip on it, and we'll go a little bit slower and see how if I can maybe get a little better accuracy. My 4th shot, I felt like I dropped it. That was here, but all in all, I'm pretty good with that, all in the square. I think now it'd be a good idea maybe to take it out a little further and see what kind of accuracy we can maintain at a longer distance with this really short barrel. So I've taken it out to 50 feet now. Maybe that's a little ridiculous. I'm gonna try with the standard short base plate. Didn't seem to make much difference at a shorter range which base plate. We're gonna try it with this one, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll try it with the extended and see if it makes a difference at a longer range. Did not lock open, but she's empty. She got one, kind of got away up here. This one underneath the clavicle, don't know if that would have been anything. These are all pretty decent. Let's tape them up now and we'll compare with the little extended base plate and see if that makes a difference. Okay, it's a little faster, but I felt good about it, so let's just see. Okay, well, not really too bad. One down here in the lung, one here in the spinal column, one over here slightly above the lung, one here in the box, and one here on the spinal column. So I think those would all be acceptable self-defense hits. Why don't we get really, really silly? We're going to get really silly and take this thing out to 73 feet, which is the maximum at this lane, at this range. Again, with the standard base plate. 6 rounds. I'm going to really try to focus and go as slow as possible, or as slow as I need to anyway, to try to hopefully make some good hits. We'll see.
Ouch. Ouch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a dead grand mal. Not a really great group at 73 feet. Let's try the extended magazine, just see if it makes a difference. Okay. As I said, it's a little ridiculous because this certainly is not designed to be a long-term marksmanship, long-range marksmanship type pistol. Felt a little better about that. I was really trying to slow down and really focus on that last little trigger break with this double action trigger. So maybe that might not have been a dead grand mal. That probably would have been a pass through, but 2 of them down here in the old elbow joint, and 1, 2, 3 of them in the box and thoracic cavity box, and 1 over here in the chest. So better. I don't really think it was because of the magazine. I think it was more because I was really trying to focus in on that last little bit of the double action trigger pull before it broke. It's really a big difference from shooting, obviously, a striker fire type like a Glock or a single action pistol. So that being said, since this is really not a long range pistol, it's more of a short grab it and shoot and stop a situation quickly. I'm going to try a couple of like one-handed firing on both hands and see if that makes a difference at a shorter range, like 15 feet. Okay, we're at 15 feet now, which I think is really probably closer to the outside of the distance range that a pistol like this, in my opinion, is really best for. We got in the hog holster, stash pocket holster. We're just going to see how quickly I can respond to a perceived dangerous threat. And we hit low. At least I didn't kill a grand mal, right? So let's see how well I can do just plain old shooting with one hand. By the way, I only had 5 rounds in here because I only had 10 left, so 5 from each magazine. So at 15 feet with just a little bit of attention, we got all 4 in the A zone, so to speak. So we're going to leave those alone and go ahead and change mags and try the same thing with the other mag. And that one may be a little better in here. Probably a bunch of arteries in there. So let me just wrap this thing up and we'll just pop the last 4 out. Maybe a little fast. And yeah, you can see every one of those. This is the last 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going a little fast, although I wouldn't want to get shot in those places.
When police officers approach Chuck Norris, they say, "We have the right to remain silent."
Okay, so that was some of the range footage. And I'll be honest with you, I think this little pistol really did better than I expected with a 1 5/8 inch barrel. I'm out to 25 feet. It's pretty accurate, and even out to 50 feet, it was reasonably accurate. At 73 feet, it was completely a scattergun for me, anyway. Somebody else might have been okay with it, but a couple things I do want to point out about that maybe I didn't go over on the range. So as you can see, I couldn't tell a big difference between the flush magazine, which basically I've got these two, my ring finger, my pinky finger just hanging off the end, and that's the best I could do with that. I couldn't tell a difference in accuracy really between that and because really even this extended magazine, my hand size, my pinky still hangs off the end, so I don't think it made a bit of difference as far as that goes. The part that really got me was this trigger, this double action trigger, because trying to be, short range is not a big deal, just bang, 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 and I think I was able to get, at least keep most of my shots in a reasonable area that would have potentially stopped somebody. But as you go out further, trying to be more accurate, it's really hard to really get a good, accurate feel on when that thing's going to break. You can pull it back, and then, but it's almost bottomed out. It's like literally, maybe 1/8 of an inch from back here before it goes. And the other issue is like then when you try to release it back, I'm so used to the reset on like a Glock trigger. You got to go all the way out. So you can't go halfway and pull it back. You got to go all the way back out, like so. So for me, that was really hard to get used to. I was carrying it, chesting in this Hog Stash little pocket holster. So if it's something that you just you just want to pull out and go quickly like that, yeah, you can put a couple rounds quickly. And if you hold it still, and I'm not shooting, I promise you, if you hold it still, you absolutely can probably get close enough. Again, this pistol is designed, in my opinion, for very close range, just complete grab and go bang quickly if you need to, kind of self-defense. But if this is all you got, then it's going to be for whatever range you need. So would this be my primary carry? Me? No, probably not. 380. I think the 380 caliber is, with good ammo, is probably almost as good as a 9mm. They've got some great ammo out now, so it's not so much the stopping power, as they say, that really bothers me with it. It's the accuracy and also the capacity. 6 rounds, and I don't know. This trigger is just maybe with a lot of reps I'd get better at it, but I can choose to put those reps into this pistol that I probably won't carry, or put it into one of my Glocks that I will carry, and so I get even better with them. So that's kind of where I'm going to go. If I carry this, and I could, because now it has excess big dots on it, probably carry it just like my daddy did in his pocket, only I will use the Hog holsters Stash, because I just will. Because it comes out pretty quickly and does good. So anyway, that is the Smith & Wesson 380 that was my daddy's last pistol he carried. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful, informational if you're interested in these little pistols, or just maybe somewhat entertaining. Either way, I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.